What's good, y'all? Ah, I figured I'd go live now, early, like 5 minutes early. Give people some time to catch on. I didn't I didn't know I was gonna do this today, so I just kind of made the show this morning, or posted and all that, and I tweeted about it a few times. Got a fucking hair on my but yeah, so this is Monday Night Hangouts, Keyboard Wars, Monday Night Hangouts, Monday Night MMA Hangouts, presented by SpicesPros.com. Spices Pros are one of our main sponsors. Appreciate you motherfuckers. You guys are dope. Go to SpicesPros.com. Get yourself some shit. We're currently live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Sportscaster. Who knows where else we could be live? So again, welcome to the show. This is the Keyboard Warriors Monday Night MMA Hangout. My name's Eddie Law. I am the host, and this is your Monday Night talk show. Basically, what we do here is this is one of the very, this might be the only live MMA talk show, definitely on all these platforms, I think. And it's your show. So you guys bring up topics you got to talk about in the chat. Bring up a topic, we'll talk about it. We just hang. It's literally just a hangout, right? You guys ever do like a kickback or whatever? Obviously, with this whole COVID situation and shit, we can't really get together. So I've come and hang out in the chat room, shoot the shit with people, shoot the shit with me. We'll talk about some topics here, see what's up. That being said, there's plenty to talk about. Event this last weekend, of course, with Mr. Whitaker and Mr. Till going at it in the main event. We'll go over that card. A few happenings here. Mike Perry's ex-wife, I guess, or ex-girlfriend. I think it's ex-wife, right? Coming out with like a revelation that she has some revelations to put out there. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Corey Anderson got fucked up. And I just read the story. I think they posted a story about an hour ago. I think TMZ came out with it first. And we'll talk about that. And anything else that comes up. Dan Hardy against fucking Herb Dean. Gilbert Melendez suspended 2 years, even though he's not part of the UFC anymore. So for some reason, USADA still suspended him for 2 years. It's fucking stupid. What else we got? I think Darren Till wants to fight still wants to fight Izzy, which he should still want to fight him. He lost the fight. He ain't gonna get that fight for a minute. And whatever else you guys want to talk about, you can talk about baseball, all that shit going down with them. We can talk about the NBA bubble. NFL tripping, not really having much of a plan. He's not telling anybody to have a plan. But I'll kick it off here with the UFC 251. Let's go over the card real quick. Happened this last Saturday. So this was not the last. Obviously, it's not the end of Fight Island. It's still there, but it's the last one for the foreseeable future, I guess, depending on what they do with UFC 252. I think Dana said it could go to Fight Island, depending on what Vegas does. So guess we'll see. 253 could also go to Fight Island as well. So just keep an eye out for that. But Fight Island was only meant for international cards, so keep that in mind when it comes to Fight Island. But let's pull up the UFC 251 card. Here we go. Thank you, Google. First fight of the night kicked off. Nathaniel Wood pulled off unanimous decision. I think it was unanimous, right? The decision win over John Castaneda. Then Ramazan Emeev got the win over Nicholas Stolze. Betch Correia. Now, obviously, Betch Correia lost, right? Penny got that W. I don't know if you guys caught it. I think it was at the end of the first round. Betch stopped when she heard the wood slap. That means 10 seconds left. She heard that shit and was just like, oh, we're done. All right, cool. And she stopped fighting, and Penny got a nice like a flurry off. I thought she heard her with it. She might have, but either way, Betch Correia loses the fight. And honestly, it wasn't close. It is what it is. I'm not saying, what I am saying is that she doesn't belong to the UFC anymore. I don't think, but either way, props to her for still doing it. I think 37, 38 years old. Then Tanner Boser gets a knockout win over my boy Brando, a.k.a. Rafael Pessoa. In the second round, Movsar Evloev, right. Against Mike Grundy, gets a decision win. And then heavyweights, of course, first round knockout. Jake Collier went to sleep, basically. Nicholas Dalby gets the first round submission Jesse Ronson gets a first round submission over Nicholas Dalby. Francesco Trinaldo. Now, this is the first fight thing we're going to talk about here. Trinaldo got, what's up, Aaron? What's up, Otis? Betch is too stagnant. Betch got passed over. Her skill set is very limited, and she has not evolved at all. Can we agree on that? I don't think she got it anymore. So I don't think she ever had it, honestly. But look, you got to give her credit. She got rid of the horsewomen for us, right? Up until she got knocked out on the Straight Outta Compton poster by Ronda Rousey. if Ronda Rousey knocks you out, you probably don't have like something happened to your chin. But Betch still could take a shot, right? Betch could still take a shot. So yeah. NBA player stated the reason to his recent trip to the strip club was due to the popularity of his chicken wings. You know what? I was laughing at it too, and it is funny. I was laughing at it too until I saw Matt Barnes talk about it. I think on ESPN Radio or somewhere. Matt Barnes made a good point. The chicken wings place he went to just happened to be in front of a strip club. Had he gone to anywhere else, no one would be saying shit, right? So I think people need to just chill the fuck out and look at that. But it is funny. I mean, Luke Williams is a straight up dude. He's not a punk. It's not like he's gotten in a shitload of trouble in his life. He's not J.R. Smith or Ron Artest or whatever. But I think Luke Williams. I believe him. I don't think he was really there for the strippers. I think he happened to be in there for a second, and he fucked up. Look, the NBA is not fucking around. They do not want what Major League Baseball is going through right now. If you guys haven't heard, the Miami Marlins had to cancel a game or two, I think, because like 14 people tested positive for COVID. So now MLB has a real problem. They got to figure out whether or not they can continue, right? So that's a problem. And I'm sure they can continue. They will. But if this happens over and over and over again, it's going to cause a problem. So the NBA is just like, fuck that. This is a bubble. You ain't doing that here. Lou, stay away from the hose. Chill out. Okay? But it is funny. Stiff and no movement, 100%. And she's tough as fuck. I bet you look at her is tough as hell. She's got T-Rex arms compared to most of the girls. She's slow. She's stiff. Doesn't move very much. When she does move, she looks like a toddler that's learning how to walk. I'm not making fun of her. It's kind of as accurate as I can describe her movement. Looks like a toddler trying to learn how to walk. So I don't know what her record is. I don't know if it's her last contract, or if she'll get released, or if she gets released, where she go. I don't know. But fair enough. Yeah, supposedly Major League Baseball has meetings this morning to address the situation. Not sure what was decided. Did y'all hear? No, I was too busy watching the Diamondbacks suck. How are you up 2-1 and then you give up 5 fucking runs, bro? And this me just get look, I opened my dumbass mouth. I said some stupid shit, and I was like, because I didn't think baseball was gonna happen at all. I was like, nah, these guys are idiots. They can't agree on shit. They can't figure. They're just dumb. Fucking. They can't agree on anything. So this league's not happening. And so I said, if this happens, I'll follow the Diamondbacks this season. Right? Of course it happened. So, I used to be a baseball fan, and then they outlawed steroids, or at least they started busting guys with steroids. So that kind of made the game boring for me. I don't like pitching battles at all. Betch is just not athletic, right? And she's still, got rid of the fourth horsewomen. She stayed in there a little bit, right? She did all right. You got to give her that much. She got a title fight. Incredible that she got a title fight. I think the biggest knock on her is going to be the fact that she got knocked out by Ronda Rousey. I honestly think Ronda ain't got hands, y'all. She's not have hands. She never had hands, man. The fact she got knocked out by Ronda was just like, I think she just mind fucked herself into a knockout. Just like a toddler, man. Anyway, so talking about this right here, Francisco Trinaldo gets a knockout win over Jai Herbert. And it wasn't it wasn't what do you call it? This guy. What's up, Mr. Adam Woods? Adam Woods had Frank Trigg on his show today. I want to say it was earlier this morning. Correct me if I'm wrong, but make sure you go find that, man. He had an awesome interview with Frank Trigg. Go check that out. I reposted it on the Keyboard Warriors Facebook. If you're part of that, you saw it. Definitely go check that out. Adam Woods getting the big interviews now, man. Good shit. And yeah, Diamondbacks, yeah, the Rattlesnakes. This guy. Anyway, but Herb Dean stepped in. Look a little late, right? I mean, he was clearly knocked. Herbert was clearly knocked the fuck out, and Trinaldo stood over him and kind of looks at Herb, and he kind of looks at Herb, and Herb don't do shit. Herb just stands and what? And Trinaldo hits 2 more times for the fight stopped. Herb Dean came out and put out a statement. I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm not gonna lie, but actually, no, I did watch the whole thing. I know what I didn't read was the entire Dan Hardy statement, because I was just like, Dan, stop. Dan Hardy and Paul Felder were yelling, screaming for Herb to stop the fight. And Herb Dean said that's pretty much the reason he stopped the fight. And you know, you have to go watch see their individual statements and all that to get the full story and all that. The part I want to focus on the fact that Dan Hardy stands up after the fight and gets in as close as he can in Herb Dean's face about it. They're yelling back and forth or whatever, and at some point Herb Dean must say, "Go do you do your job, I do mine." And Dan Hardy basically repeats that. It was weird. But here's what the discussion has been the entire week since then, or the entire 2 days since then. Dan Hardy being a commentator, should he have done that? You know what I'm saying? Should he have gone in there like that? And it was kind of unprofessional as a broadcaster. Look, speaking solely as a broadcaster, not at all what you should have done, right? I get the sentiment, but while you're on the job, you shouldn't have done that. I think you save us for afterwards. You post it on Twitter, post it on Instagram, whatever you want. And Dan Hardy, to his own defense, said, to me, these are people, and I 100% agree. And we got this right. Wait, what's up, dude? It says Herb played it like a politician, just blame Hardy and didn't talk about the terrible stoppage. Look, I think it was a shit stoppage too. Clearly, Herbert was out, gone, sleeping. He was in another dimension for a little bit, and Herb should have waved it off as soon as he saw that. I just don't understand what he was looking at that made him think that fight can continue. I think when he sits down and thinks about it a little more, maybe talk to John McCarthy about it. And I don't know if John said anything about it. I think he'll realize that he kind of fucked up a little bit. But end of the day, like, they just both exactly. They're both in the wrong though, but I get where Hardy's coming from. I understand Hardy too. Hardy very much look, first of all, this is a different Dan Hardy than when he was fighting. Okay, when he was fighting, Dan Hardy was an asshole. I'm gonna slap the tan off of him when he fought GSP. Didn't even come close. But damn, that shit was hilarious. Now, he did some DMT, did a little ayahuasca, some, journeys in the Amazon and all that. And now he's super care about people, which is great. But it's a way different guy. So I get what he's saying, man. But still, come on, man. Come on now. Yeah. Is Frank Trigg reffing? I think currently he is. I just don't know where. But I'm pretty sure I've seen him a couple times now. Trinaldo looks at Herb like Gem City Jesus looks at Herb. Yeah, there you go. His eyes roll, should have called it. I'm saying, I agree with you. Fighters can still be in a defensive position and still be gone. And it wasn't like he was in a defensive position. Trinaldo grabbed his leg and put it on his hip, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Like maybe that looks like, Herbert was trying to, get his foot on the hip or get his leg on the hip and keep Trinaldo off of him. That's not what was going on. If you watch it, Trinaldo went and grabbed it, put it there to get it out of the way. So, I think Herb just needs to be like, my bad, and Dan Hardy needs to be like, my bad, and just move on. But people still talking about that shit. Fair enough. All right. Next fight. Was the first fight on the main card, of course. Here we go. The hero, what do they call? Do we have a nickname for this guy? I don't even know. Khamzat Chimaev against Risk McKee, the first round knockout, and now he wants to fight on August 15th. I'm not mad at that. He took 0 damage in this one. Then Alex Oliveira gets a decision win over Peter Sabata, whatever. He said that Peter Sabata faked the low blow to get himself more rest time. A lot of guys do it. Paul Craig gets a first round submission win over the dude Antugulov. I'm not even going to bother with his first name. This fight pissed everybody off because Carlos Praza won. Look, I'm not saying that she shouldn't win or she's not a good fighter. I'm saying that she's annoying and a little boring. Ask everybody. Cookie Monster's fans are not in great numbers. This one was a heartbreaker right here. Fabricio Verdum versus Gus. That was rough to watch. Trig reps amateur and pro in California and Vegas. Yeah, I've seen him on there before. The Chechen Smesher. What's up, Daniel? Yeah, so, Fabricio Verdum. Gus looked good at heavyweight, man. He looked healthy. I mean, people call him fat. Fuck him. But he looked healthy. He moved pretty well. He was moving quick. To me, he just got caught, dude. He just got caught, and unfortunately, he got caught. He got taken down. Not got caught. He got beat. It's not really that he got caught, but I think he got beat by a guy he should not have gone to the ground with. And to his credit, to his credit, he kept it on the feet as long as he could. And then Verdum took him down and his backpacked his ass, sort of back to his ass. So, Gus is down on his knees, tries to get away, and Verdum kind of crawls on his back and brings him back and shit. That happens in jiu-jitsu all the time. And then he, gets a submission win, the armbar win. So, and Gus fought his ass. So I got to hand it to him. There was not much he could have done though. Like Verdum would have switched that from armbar to rear naked choke to anything from that position. You could do a million things from the armbar position. So yeah. Anyway, anyone that just jumped into the show, to the chat, make sure you say what's up, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share it if you can. We really appreciate that. But definitely join the discussion here. Let me know what you want to talk about. Just throw in some shit, throw in some comments, throw in some topics. We'll talk about it. Evil Abe Lincoln, dude, you have something with that. Evil Abe Lincoln will be dope. Who's his manager? Someone hit him up. It's not Ali, is it? Dude, Ali and Makikawa. No. Ali and it's like the battle of the managers. I think it's Ali and Maki or somebody, but I gotta give it to Ali, man. He's going in. He just got Olenek on his brand, on his little dominance MMA. That dude's doing his shit. Verdum is sick of jiu-jitsu. Verdum, people don't fucking just. You can get slow. You can lose your timing in Muay Thai and boxing and all striking shit. It's hard to get if you're still training constantly. It's hard to get real shitty at jiu-jitsu if you're still constantly training. If you stop, you can get shit at jiu-jitsu quick. But if you're constantly training and all sort of stuff, yeah, dude, you can't. You don't really get worse at jiu-jitsu if you're a guy like Verdum. So you always have that in your back pocket, and so you don't want to go to the ground with guys like that. I actually like Verdum versus Vader for the Bellator heavyweight title. How about Yeah, I'm down with that. Bader is a wrestler, and we saw what happened with Kane. So, although Bader is not a Kane, not a C-level Kane at all. Okay, keep that in mind. But yeah, I watched highlight of Verdum catching Kane in the sub back when Kane went in that fight, like in my opinion, like an idiot. He overhyped his own cardio. Verdum was there way early. He went to like the mountains to train and to get acclimated to in Mexico City, that altitude is ridiculous. So he went early as hell to get acclimated, and he was way more acclimated. And Kane just got too confident in his own cardio, and it didn't work out. And then obviously he got hurt a couple times, and then when he went for the takedown, he got it, and he got stuck in the guillotine, and Verdum set it up beautifully. Go back and watch that fight. You'll see the setup. It's slick. I think Zabit has to claim Lincoln first. Let him fight for it. Catch weight. I don't know what would happen. Verdum is death on the ground. I would say Verdum is way deadlier on the ground than Frank Mir. By a whole lot. I think Frank, maybe I'm bullshitting, but I think Frank Mir's jiu-jitsu and Roy Nelson's jiu-jitsu on the ground, for as much as we talked about it, it was compared to Verdum. Just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Verdum has talked about wanting out of the UFC. Well, I think he has one more fighter. That was his last fight. I'm not sure, but if I'm him, I go, hey, who wants me? And just whoever throws up the most money, right? And I think Bellator would love to get him for that Ryan Bader fight. I think Rizin would love to get him just for some freak show fights. I want to see Barnett versus Bader before Verdum gets a crack at Bader. Did Barnett get signed? Because that's interesting. Barnett was just on Rogan's. He talks in a weird, like, Josh Barnett talks like you are in on his inside jokes. So he'll lose you. He can lose you very quickly. Like he'll talk to a stranger and use phrases like that stranger knows, like, it's in on all the jokes, all his inside jokes. And so listening to him talk to Rogan, half the time I'm like, what? I guess. All right, dude, cool. So he lost me a little bit in the shows. I thought Verdum looking in better shape. I give him a title shot after one more win at UFC, in the UFC. I don't know, man. I guess it would depend on against who. You know what I mean? All right. So anyway, then we got Shogun Hu against Lonog. Oh, Lance Palmer to UFC or Bellator. I think he just got his release. That dude won 2 tournaments, $2 million tournaments. Damn, where would I go as Lance Palmer? Palmer. Again, whoever pays the most. And I think for a guy like that, I think it'd end up being Bellator. I don't know. But who knows, man. Anyway, Shogun Rua against Lil Nog, and Shogun Rua pulls off a decision win. That was a struggle. I felt the arthritis coming, like hitting me watching that shit. That fight should not have happened, honestly. But you got to give Lil Nog his own way out, and unfortunately, that was his last fight, and he didn't go out on a win. So that was rough to watch. But to me, the worst part was Shogun, who Dan Hardy. I think it was Dan Hardy or Felder. One of them, Hardy or Felder, asked Shogun, "So what's next for you?" And he's like, "I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go rest, and a couple of days I talk to my manager." I'm just like, no, bro, no, stop. I don't want to see Shogun get fucked up by somebody, have that be the end of his career. And I hope he looks at that way, but it's hard to tell a fighter to stop. Like, they kind of have to know it themselves, Very few fighters went out like GSP. Like when GSP retired, even the second time, he could still win, and dominate. So, all right. Then the main event, Robert Whittaker against Darren Till. A lot of people are kind of bummed out Darren Till didn't win. I guess everyone wants to see that Izzy Till fight. He's gonna have to wait for a while. But Robert Whittaker, he fucking fought really well, and I thought Till would catch him at some point. Whittaker just held it together, so pulling off and then knocking down Till is pretty dope. Too bad Till can't make that 170 weight safely or at all at this point, because that dude could dominate 170. I think, even with Usman. I was not entertained by that Till Whittaker fight. I had it on, but it was one of those fights where you would look at your phone and look up and just in time to catch a big moment, and then it would go back to just okay, I know, but I enjoyed it. Not sure what sign a boring wrestler like Palmer. PFL is where the wrestlers go to thrive, right? Barnett is signed to Bellator for a little over a year. He was supposed to fight at Bellator, but caught a cold the week of. Right, I remember the day before, the day of. That I remember I was gonna watch that too. You know what I can't say about Bellator? Like they just fucking suck at in my opinion, promoting their shit, their cards. But also they make it hard to fucking find and watch, and it's just and then a lot of the time it's all on delay. It's just fucking weird, dude. But everyone keeps patting Scott Coker. Scott Coker gets a pat in the back because he treats fighters decently, better than, for the most part, better than Dana. But because he's not Dana White, Scott Coker gets credit for not being Dana White. It's weird. If Dana White wasn't around, I think people would be giving Scott Coker shit for putting a mediocre product out there for the most part. You guys let me know what you think, but I'm not a fan of Bellator at all. So yeah. Till's just not as powerful at 185. Till is average at 185. And by that I mean size and strength and all that. He's average. At 170, he was a monster. If you try to fight at 205, it'd be quick as shit. It'd be a quick dude, but he'd probably get knocked out. Had no idea Till could speak Portuguese really well. Lived in Brazil for a while. That's where he had his baby. I think he had his baby there. Or he has a kid with a Brazilian chick. I know that. Besides that, is Bellator, right? Yeah. He fought the beginning of his career in Brazil after a bad bar fight in Liverpool. He got in trouble in there, right? It's not Bellator, it's the zone in the whole that sucks promoting. No, I agree with you. No, you're totally true. But it's Bellator's decision to go with the zone. You know what I'm saying? Bellator doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't really try to promote their cards. We kind of find out about them the week of sometimes. Unless you're a really big Bellator fan, which I'm first one to tell you I'm not at all. Unless it's a big fight that we want to see. But I'm not. I find out about Bellator cards on Wednesday because Otis tells me. For real. Otis will come in the chat and be like, hey, Bellator this weekend. Or MMA gods will say it. And I'm just like, oh, shit, he's right. And then I watch it. Or I try to watch it. I find a stream somewhere. But you're right. The zone makes it really hard to watch. And they don't do great at telling people about it. But I think it falls on Bellator. Me personally. Bellator's fourth on my list of promotions to watch. I think for me it goes UFC, Invicta, for real, Invicta. You know what? I gotta think about that one. I like ONE FC, Risen when it's on, but I'm not sure. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Question: y'all think fans will be able to attend live cards this year with mask on at T-Mobile in Vegas? Ooh. Okay, here's how I'll answer this. My first answer would be no, but no, unless. So the NFL's come out and said that they're going to have games, right? They're going to go on with the season. There's talks about letting people into the stadium to watch football, obviously, with masks on and socially distant. So you're talking about like limiting the amount of people in an arena or in a stadium. Great, cool. If they can pull it off and not spark a fucking another like huge, spike in numbers, right? The UFC can look at that and be like, hey, the NFL is doing it every weekend in multiple places and they're doing just fine, right? If they can avoid those numbers. Spiking, then we could talk about that. The problem to me about the whole mask thing is people are stupid. There's dumbass people that think for some reason that putting on a mask is like infringing their rights. I don't understand this whole like it's against my constitutional right. Okay, we can talk about some of that because it gets like really like come on, what don't you understand about how like disease spreads? But anyway, that's a separate podcast for some other time. But I think people get drunk too fucking fast at UFC events. You'll have the entire crowd without a mask on at that point, right? And all it takes is one asshole to be in there with some symptoms, and it's fucking over. Everyone gets sick, and then not only are you talking about not having any more people at the events, you're talking about the UFC not having events. I think, right? But again, there's still so much that we don't know about this whole pandemic. So, I'm gonna go no, not this year. I'm going to say maybe next year, but again, in my opinion, it goes down to what the NFL does. When the NFL can pull it off, Dana White will be like, hell yes, let's go. I'm telling you. When we find a bitch go, hey, yeah, you missed it. It was the start of the show. I think I don't know. I came up with her. She was, I think people talk about she was stagnated. She doesn't move well and all that. All I said was she moves like a toddler that's learning how to walk. So God says no. Hard no from Neil. Hold up. Tampa said 25% capacity. Right. And it's better than nothing. And it would be masked on and socially distant. Fair enough. You just can't have the spike in numbers. And drunk ass people don't like wearing masks. Let's be fucking honest. Okay. It's just being real. Aaron says, yeah, exactly. I paid for my Cowboys tickets already. If not, Jerry better give my money back. I don't see why they wouldn't. I think it'd be stupid to not give people their money back. Maybe they'll be like, hey, keep it for next year. I don't know. 6 months from now, maybe bare knuckle fighting sold like 50% capacity this weekend. They were allowed 25%. Where was that? Like, where was the event? Because that I think to me that's also obviously part of why they let them do that. Aaron, why would you waste your money? Oh yeah. Daniel makes fun of the Cowboys all the time. Daniel, Aaron, Daniel. Adam says New Japan Pro Wrestling is running shows with fans since last month. If anyone gets fans, it'll be a promotion that runs Japan, another part of Asia before North America gets it. Again, if you look at the rest of the world, somehow we're the most powerful country in the world, and everybody else figured it out, but we can't or won't. Does that make sense to anybody? You know what I'm saying? To me, the politicians fucked this whole thing up from the get-go, but I don't want to to the COVID podcast again because I do it all the time. But very quickly, if we had followed what the rest of the world did, fucking Australia just had soccer with 20,000 fans in the stands. You telling me we can't do that? Or we couldn't do that? You know what I'm saying? Something to think about. Everybody else got it right but us. Don't know how. Somehow everybody else figured it out, but everyone else got it together. Everyone worked together. Everyone, not everyone, but most places worked together, and most places figured it out, and most places are starting to get back to normal life. And here, for some reason, it's an infringement on our rights to wear a fucking mask, and to socially distance. And I think it's not. I think part of it's fucking morons, but the other part of it is the politicians politicized on every side. Oh my God, everyone's a moron as far as politicians go. They all weaponized it and politicized it for their own personal gain, and it kicked them right in the dick. And for some reason, come November, a lot of these assholes will still have a job. When the rest of us, a lot of us don't have a job right now. I'm lucky. I'm essential, so it worked out. But a lot of people lost their jobs, and they're still going to vote for these retards that made that happen. So, you know what I'm saying? 25% that want to watch the GOAT. Oh, Tom Brady. It was in Oklahoma. That makes sense. You bought Cowboy tickets, man? Are you made of money? Hey, man, that dude's had I think he put it right here. Been a ticket holder since 06. I was a ticket holder for the Cardinals before they moved to the new stadium. Like the prices doubled. It was insane. But you got to pay for that big ass stadium somehow. Till was too timid. He was worried about getting caught, I think. Tell me what you think, but I think Till was worried about getting caught. And because Whitaker knocked him down once or twice, right? So yeah. Season ticket holders have made the purchase of tickets by May 1st. Yep. But God's is right. It's the way to go. You resell the tickets if you don't go. What I hate, that specifically in Arizona, is season ticket holders will sell their tickets to fans on the other fucking team. So yeah, countless games that I've gone to that the stands are dominated by the other team's fans. That shit pisses me the fuck off as a Cardinals fan and a Suns fan, even a Coyotes fan. I've gone to Coyotes games and like they're playing the Red Wings. Of course, I know Detroit is a popular ass fucking team, but it was red as shit in there and it wasn't Coyote red. Okay, fuck. Aaron, you have tickets to watch the Red Rockets start. Oh, come on. Didn't they give what's his name? Didn't Dak sign the tender? He signed it, right? He's gonna get like the median or whatever it is of all the salaries, which means he's gonna get paid like a motherfucker, or the average. Anyway, so yeah. What else would I want to talk about? I'd rather get the headline that Gilbert Melendez is suspended 2 years by USADA. And I first thought it was who gives a fuck? That dude's not even in the UFC anymore. Why do they even bother? It's like just in case you come back, I guess. I don't know. All right. Corey Anderson. So you guys what he fought Jan Blachowicz, and he lost that fight, obviously, and I think whatever. But apparently a week later, he suffered like a real issue. He was out hiking, surveying land or something like that, whatever he said. And let me see if I can read it. This is from his Instagram post, and I'll show it to you guys in a second. It says February 21st, following my last fight, I blacked out and collapsed, smashing my face on a gravel road after scouting some land for hours. Okay, scouting. Ended up in the ER for 5 days, running numerous tests and blood work to figure out what happened. And then there's a bunch of other shit. Somebody thought that it was, they said that his heart had stopped at some point. That it could happen again in a fight, and it was all fucking crazy. Turns out this guy had an undiagnosed concussion. And that the fight commission and the fight medics and all that failed to properly do their fight check after the fight, and he got messed up. This dude, think about it, keep in mind, he's 205, he's a big guy. This is what he looked like right after he got jacked up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Here it is, courtesy of Bloody Elbow and his Instagram. Look at that. The whole right side of his face is fucked up. So there you go. And then he had some more pictures. I think after surgeries and all that, and ER. I think he said 5 days in the ER. It got better slowly. It got there. That's a permanent scarring right there. That's gonna be there forever now. Which whatever is not like it was a model. But this dude ate it on the gravel, and he said to me the biggest thing that he said was maybe it's not gonna be that bad. He might just have that little area right there. Don't put that up, dude. What the fuck? I don't know if it has any like ID shit on there. But anyway, what he said was that the medics didn't do their job. So my first thought was, oh, that's a lawsuit. Shit. So I know what you guys think about that. Dak is not signed yet. Okay. Red Rocket it is. Hasn't Gil been caught before? Yes, he has, and I don't know why or when and what. His career is over with a suspension, and the UFC for sure. Again, it's USADA that suspended him. He can go somewhere else and fight. USADA doesn't work with Bellator, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't work with Bellator, where his wifey fights at. Doesn't work with Ryzen, ONE FC, all those other spots. I think he can still fight a little longer, but I don't think he will. And what do you think? Rogan moving to Austin or Dallas? Oh yeah, Rogan came out and said that he's moving to Texas. Joey Diaz let that out of the bag, but Rogan said he's moving to Texas pretty soon, which I'm assuming means at the end of this, probably next month, maybe a month after. And yeah, he's moving to Texas, and for some reason, some people give a shit. Let the man do what he's gonna do, man. That guy could afford to have houses everywhere. But leaving California, a lot of people left California. I have new neighbors that are from California. I'm staying the fuck away from those guys because we're all bitching about. I get bitching about the lockdown, totally get it. But they were complaining about masks and socially distancing. So I was like, I'm gonna socially distance my ass from you. Back the fuck up. They invited the whole neighborhood. Hey, they invited the whole neighborhood to a homecoming, housewarming party. That was last night. I shit you not, nobody went. For some reason, this neighborhood specifically is not fucking around. And we have people on every side of every race, of every religion, of every of many, or I guess the 2 or 3 political affiliations and shit. And everyone agreed, like, fuck that. Anyway, yep, that was his face. Apparently, it happened a week after his loss to Jan Blachowicz. So, Austin would be perfect for Rogan. I agree. I think he would want to go somewhere smaller than that because I mean, what did someone say? Austin was like the California or the LA of Texas. So I think he'd go somewhere else. I don't think it would be Dallas, and he's definitely not be Houston. I think if he goes anywhere, it's gonna be right outside Houston because there's there's a comedy scene in Houston. Maybe outside of Austin. I don't know. What else we got? I can see him moving to Austin. Dallas would surprise me. Oh, what's good? What's good? Boston, stand up. Oh, I just followed you on Twitter. Yeah. We were talking about weed and the jail sentences and shit. Not weed, drugs and overall, but. And then, yeah, I got you. He likes backwoods, so I could see him off in Austin. Austin is much more liberal. Austin, that makes sense. I think he'll be right outside. I don't think he wants to live in the city. Yeah, young Jamie's going. I don't think Jamie has a family, so he might just go. All Californians are moving to Texas. All Californians are moving Arizona. I've heard of some in New Mexico, a lot going to Nevada, to Vegas and Nevada, and then a bunch of making all the way ass to Texas. So we'll talk about Twitter in a second. Twitter got fucking wild, man. I haven't been on it very much, not as much as I usually am, but god damn, when I got on this last, the bit that I did this last week and a half, shit is dark on Twitter, man. Jesus. Rogan moves before the first episode on Spotify drops, 100%. Which means I don't know when he drops, but it's pretty soon. Traffic drives me nuts. Colorado was so bad when I lived there. Denver in the mountains. I would like to live in Boulder. If I went to Colorado, I would like to live in Boulder. But the last time I visited there, it is super like, hey man, fucking hippie town, which is fine. I don't mind hippie town. But some of these guys can sniff their own farts, like in that like South Park episode where everyone thinks they're like hot shit. They're good, I'm awesome, man, because of this and that, man. Like, okay, fuck yourself. I'm going somewhere out here. Like I think if I move to Colorado, I'm gonna move somewhere where like right outside like Denver or right outside big city. And I know it's snowy and it's crazy. You need to have like like country skills and shit. I'm gonna have to develop that shit. But I think I would go there or check out this fucking curveball. I wouldn't mind Montana. I've seen some of my friends that have spots in Montana. They go out there and it's beautiful. And I'm like, oh, I would love some quiet, I'm from all big cities, man. I was born in a huge city. I moved to another huge city, Phoenix, or take it back, Tucson, Arizona is the smallest city I've ever lived in. So I was debating this earlier. How much would you rate a win over Tim Kennedy or Yancy Medeiros on somebody's record? A win over Yancy Medeiros, yes. Because Yancy is a bad motherfucker that goes in a fight. A win over Tim Kennedy? I don't know. I mean, every time we talk about Kelvin Gastelum, they name him, right? They name Tim Kennedy. To me, Yancey, more Yancey than Tim, but that's just me. I live 5 minutes from downtown Dallas. Allergies are really bad here. You know what? Allergies used to be fucking non-existent in Arizona. Then all these fucking assholes from the Midwest that moved here, no offense, moved fucking here, brought the goddamn plants with them. Now everyone has allergies here. So I think that's what happened. I'm not sure. I'm not a scientist. Cali, biggest state. He wanted to be in a safer place for his daughters. Austin, Texas next week. That all makes sense. But again, just like Adam says, Austin is the Venice Beach, Texas. I think he's going to be right outside of Austin or right outside of Houston. I don't think he wants to live in a giant in a city anymore. Texas to Colorado, Colorado to Cali, and Cali to Texas now. Right. He's about to. Why would you want to move to Vegas? I get it. Like I know a couple guys that moved there. They lived there for a year and they fucking left because Vegas is where you go to get away from your life and to party. You're not going to party every day in Vegas. Well, I don't know if you would, but let's just say you wouldn't, right? At what point do you get tired of Vegas, right? And you have to deal with a whole lot of tourists and shit, like crazy stuff. So I personally would never move to Vegas ever. I would never move to Nevada. Nevada, however you say that. I think I would move. I'd move if I wanted to move. The top 3 places I would want to move to would be like Colorado. Ooh, I wouldn't mind Texas, honestly. I would not mind Texas, but I would love either Washington State or Oregon. I'm a huge fan of green, huge fan, green, but like green, right? Scenery, environment, all that. But that bullshit in Seattle where they made their own little city. Nah, bro. That's too crazy for me. Loyalty is royalty. 100%. Stay out. Daniel lives in Texas, so he don't want anybody going there. That's kind of the cycle for sort of people, right? Or for a lot of people, got it. I'm moving out of Boston Metro in 3 more years. Aspen, Colorado, or Aspen just in Massachusetts itself? I don't know Massachusetts very much. I think the furthest east I ever been, this will tell you everything. The furthest east I ever been is like Charlotte, North Carolina, and Philadelphia. And I was only there for like an hour each time for connecting flight overseas to Europe, to Italy. But I think the furthest that I've been out like for a while there, Chicago. And that's Midwest. I love Chicago. Chicago's so dope. I'm thinking of leaving LA, but the rest of the union scares me. I don't blame you, but here's the reason why I like Arizona, because like for the most part, people leave you the fuck alone here, and I like that. Like I like my privacy and all that, and you're allowed to have guns, and you're allowed to, like it's not as crazy as people think it is. It is Wild Westy here, but it's not super insane. The only reason I wouldn't leave if I was you, LA, is because there's no beach in Arizona. There's no beach anywhere outside the coast. So, and I love the beach. I'd love to be a sheriff in Montana. Live your dream, dog. What do you want? City all my life. Looking forward to Justin versus Khabib. Right. Apparently that's going to actually happen. And then Khabib's only going to fight like what? What was the number they gave? Like 2-3 times, and then he's done. What the fuck is Carlos Condit doing? What is he doing? And now you're making me think about it. All right, let's go find what Carlos Condit is doing. Carlos, did he take a fight? Because if he did, I heard about it and I don't remember it. Y'all got to tell me what happened because I don't know what you're talking about. If he's not doing anything, I mean, look, Carlos Condit is on a 5-fight losing streak. That what decision split loss to Robbie Lawler at UFC 195 back in 2016. Later that year, got choked out by Damian Maia because Carlos Condit is allergic to takedown defense. Neil Magny beat him by decision, or he lost to Neil Magny by decision, lost to Oliveira by guillotine choke, and then got Kimura by Michael Chiesa in 2018. Carlos Condit needs to just not do anymore. Just stick to the juice bar, whatever he's running in Albuquerque, and live a good life. Not get punched in the head or choked out for a living. Personally. A lot of bodies in the desert. Pacific Northwest is beautiful. I'm telling you. Last time I hung out in Seattle was a long time. No, that was like last year. But it was dope as fuck. Oh my God, it was awesome. Chill. It's cool. Chirac. I didn't go. I mean, I drove through the south side, but I didn't fucking stop anywhere in the south side. It was all downtown and um, more towards like the Lake Forest area. Selling coffee is what Carlos is doing. Yep, he's been posting workout videos. Hoist Gracie is a sheriff in was it Idaho or Iowa, something like that. Hoist Gracie, man, it's like Hoist Gracie's bored. So he's like, I'm gonna go be a sheriff. You know who else did that? Fucking Shaq. He's on a bad loss streak. Yeah, 5 fights in a row. Game, dude. Just move on. He's still on the roster. That'd be interesting. I was saying Nevada because of the weather, no allergies. Oh, well, yes, heat, full. That it's not a bad idea. Like I said, only problem is if you get bored of Vegas. People get bored of Vegas real quick. Like if it's like, apparently a lot of people it's not that fun after a while. But I mean, if that's your scene, eh? Killing it with a Nizzo Kush blunts. Wish I could. Yeah, it's just not. Unfortunately, that shit's not legal in a lot of other places. But virtual pass it, bro. All right. What else we got before we get out of here? Oh yeah, this weekend's card. We'll talk about it on Wednesday too. And of course we'll break it down. Myself, Fred Kirby, just so we're obviously able to get some internet. But let's talk about this weekend's card at the UFC Apex. 3 p.m. is the start of the prelims on ESPN Plus. We'll just go through some of the names on the card. Eric Spice is in the card. Ray Borg is back. Jaromir Sharp seems like he's fighting all the time against Ed Herman. Frankie Science is back against Jonathan Martinez. Main card kicks off at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 p.m. Eastern time. Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland stepped in on short notice, or it's the other way around. I'm not sure, but this is a short notice fight against Trevin Giles. Lando Vannata, Bobby Green. This is a solid fight. People were talking about this a little bit. I lean Lando Vannata because Bobby Green got a little too confident over winning a decision finally. So I'm going with Lando on that, but we'll talk about it later. This is a fun-ass fight right here. Vicente Luque against Randy Brown. It's going to be such a fun fight. For real. Like, this is definitely worth card worth watching, in my opinion. Jojo Calderwood against Jennifer Maia. We'll see if Jojo can sucker people, and I think she deserves a title. Just not my opinion. I think she deserves a title shot if she's able to. She needs to at least finish this chick, I'm telling you. And then main event, Derek Brunson against Edmund Shabazian. It was supposed to be Holly Holm against Aldana, but Aldana tested positive for COVID-19, so that sucks. That one got pushed to later on in the year. Then next weekend is the Derek Lewis Oleinik fight. After that, it's 252 at the Apex. That's the Stephen Miocic against Daniel Cormier fight. JDS against Rosenstrike. This is going to be goddamn. Right. Frankie Edgar against Pedro Munoz. If Munoz doesn't pull out again or doesn't get pulled out. Sean O'Malley against Marlon Vera. I think Chito's, and I don't know if people were calling this an upset, and he's going to win that fight, I think. But anyway, you guys could. We'll talk about that on Wednesday as well, and break it all down and shit. I'm thinking of moving to Vegas, but really only for work location. Right? I remember you were talking about that. Don't think I'd ever go to the Strip other than for fights and concerts. It's like the only way I would do it. Like, I wouldn't live anywhere near the Strip. Maybe Henderson, like right outside somewhere. Like if you drive to Vegas from Arizona, you drive through a lot of quiet spots, right? Like almost like little side towns. I would go live there. You could also live in Reno, and then you have like a 40-minute drive to Lake Tahoe. You can go every week if you want to. I did a couple Spartan races there. It was actually pretty dope. I'm not into gambling. I would also always come and visit. Yeah. DC's retiring. Yeah, one more fight. One more fight is game. Later tonight. For real, so many folks have said they're coming out for fights. Yeah. Look, I will go, you guys. If you move over there and once they fights again, let's like meet up with you and go watch an event or something. I'll crash at your spot, dude. That's not my style. I'll go crash at people's spots and shit. But you get all those people telling you, hey, can I crash at your spot? You got to get real good at saying no and it's cool with it. August got some heat. Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Steve, what's up, my man? Unfortunately, you got here right as the show is about to end in a few minutes. Johnny Walker was Ryan Spann on September 19th. Right. I read about that. Johnny Walker needs to win a big win, in my opinion, big win to get back in people's minds and shit. And then you can get him in, I don't know. Remember when we were talking about him, John Jones, and now everyone's like, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. I'd much rather be in Reno, but need to be closer to my family in Arizona, right? And I mean, you moved to Vegas, you're 4 hours away from here. Probably closer to where you are now, actually. Probably like 3 hours from where you are, right? Something like that. Am I right on that? Is there a worse nickname than the Taz Mexican Devil? Yeah. The Sexy Mexi. I'll say that one. That on Belcher Johnny Cash tattoo of fighter nicknames. I'm gonna say Sexy Mexi takes cake. There's also 25-8. Overtime. Those are both Corey Anderson. What else is a shit name? Anybody with Pitbull? Oh, what else is there? That's kind of what I got. Yeah, that's a dope fight. Yeah, sorry, dude. It's everything. Twitter, YouTube does it to us, and I think it's because we cuss, or because I cuss, or we cuss them keyboard warriors. Anyway, anything else you guys want to talk about before I get out of here? I'll check the headlines where you guys throw out some top points or something you want to talk about. I do this at least once a week. It's literally just a hangout, really the hangout. You guys come, shoot the shit, and it's almost like you call your buddies to come over. You're sitting around, drink beer, maybe pass a blunt, whatever you're doing. Of course, in COVID, we wouldn't pass shit. Everyone's got to have their own joint. Let's see what we got. Why open the Habib picking last fight? Even P. Oh, right. So he wants to fight GSP as his last fight, allegedly. One I would watch, but I don't think you'll get GSP to retirement. Not because he's tired. I think GSP just knows that, look, man, I left. I'm not coming back. Why would I do that? So I think you ever get Habib with GSP. I think people would love to get Habib with GSP, and just, in my opinion, it's not happening. So I think we need to leave GSP the fuck alone. I think the only way you get GSP is to pay him a fuckload of money, and even then, probably not going to happen because Dana White is a businessman. He ain't trying to pay anybody a bunch of money. Exactly. But his last name is Borg. That's a layup to Cyborg. And On Point MMA did a 10 worst nicknames a while back, but they do top 10 everything. They're great at it. I used to want to do those top 10 lists, man, but it's just a lot of fucking work. It's not a bad idea. I don't know. How about this? In the next month or so, I'll try a couple I'll put together like 3 videos, top 10 lists of whatever the fuck I can come up with, and I'll put them out. You guys let me know what you think, okay? But it's gonna take me a while to put them together. I'm not gonna lie. So let's say like a month. So let's say near end of August, I'll post those out. See what happens. Is Betch the Artem OG, the women's division? Artem is at least fun. Well, Betch is funny in the fact she punched herself in the face when she fought Marion, right? Oh my god, she got Marion cracks there and backs up, and Betch, bah, and she might have rocked herself. That shit was funny. The blonde bomber, hair dyed blonde, right? Blonde fighter too with dark roots. All right, yeah. So I mean, is what it is. All right, folks. Been a long 2 weeks, but I'm back on my shit tomorrow night. Coming back. Actually, I'll be on Sportscaster, live on Sportscaster only. If you don't have a Sportscaster account, don't worry, just come hang out. I'm gonna put the stream link on Twitter. But if you can make a Sportscaster account, you can actually comment. So tomorrow night, same time as this show, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be talking all Arizona baseball, basketball, football, all this other shit. Oh God, thank you for bringing it up, Steve. We'll talk about this one more thing. All right, but again, tomorrow night, come hang out. Did you talk about the Platinum Princess? I did not. Thanks for the reminder. Let me put up the post you put on Twitter or on obviously Instagram. Let me see if I can find it. Did I lose it? Hold up a second. Well, give me a second, y'all. I thought I had this shit. There it is. Here it is. Ooh, no, that's not it. There it is. Check it out. Put it up a while ago, but if you guys can see the post on there, it's Mike Perry's ex-wife. I think I mentioned this at the start of the show and I didn't talk about it. Thanks for the reminder, Steve. It says, I'm done being silent. What happened is not okay. It's never acceptable. It's still happening every day to others. It's time for someone to speak up, to be brave and tell the truth. I'm ready to talk. Who's ready to listen? At Joe Rogan, Ariel Helwani. First of all, 100% guarantee Helwani has sneaked into her DMs already because he's a fucking sleazeball. But her story should be put out there. But I think she should just do it herself, in my opinion. But that's just it. But beyond that, damn. Perry is in some shit. First of all, if he did anything, like if she, obviously, she, in my opinion, she'd have to, I don't know, but I think she'd have to prove it because I think a lot of people, if you read the comments on her post, there's a lot of people saying she's clout chasing, right? And I think had she not tagged Joe Rogan and Douchewani, it'd be fine. But like I believe her. I don't know if it's like if anyone doesn't, but yeah, if he beat her ass, like if he hurt her and he abused her or whatever, I believe her. She hasn't put any allegations yet, not yet. So, top things are hard work. That's why I borrowed the streamer gimmick from you and Storytime. Oh, Dave, man, yeah. And by the way, you're doing a fucking awesome job. The Frank Trigg, getting Frank Trigg, and dude, if you guys don't know, again, follow Adam Woods on everything. Okay, according to Woods, and he gets guests all the time. Him and Jeremiah Deskins, who Jeremiah's been really busy, so he hasn't got too many guys lately. But these are the two guys that are consistently getting like the fighters and fight personalities to be on their show. So good shit, bro. Steve's on top of that WMMA. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I go to Steve's podcast and his Twitter to get updates on that shit. The allegations, I don't know. She didn't put any up yet, but she wants to talk about it. Look, man, Mike Perry, I was lost his shit the other time and the other day at that restaurant and allegedly like pushed or hit a girl or something. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. If that happened, he needs to pay for it. I believe her because you've seen his outburst and shit. The thing about it is that, by the way, subscribe to Steve's podcast. It's actually good shit. Not even bullshit, you dude. You both of you guys, Adam and Steve, keep up the good work. No, I believe her. I fucking believe her shit. You see all the outbursts Mike Perry fucking has done lately, especially like this dude is a problem, right? I think so. If she could prove it, especially some charges got to come up, right? But that's immediately where I go. It's like if he did something, you got to put up some charges, not just go talk about it. Like, what's your goal with it? Your goal is to raise awareness that he's doing it. Great, talk about it. But if he committed a crime, you need to press charges on this motherfucker, okay? Because she says it in her own post. This is my opinion. She says it in her own post. It's happening. It's still happening every day to others. Be an example. Get this guy off the street if he did something for real, right? Like I don't know. So, Steve, put your podcast stuff out there, please, so everyone can give you a follow and check it out. He's on. I think you're on. I know. I actually listened to your stuff when I clicked the link on your post whenever you post it out. So, because I normally get like a tag on there, so I'm at work at my desk, and so I play it on that shit or on my phone whenever I'm with my earbuds on. But yeah, put your shit out there, put it on Twitter. Everyone follow him and everything. Dude, he's a good dude. I actually met him in Vegas, so he's dope. Yeah. So I don't know what the allegations are, man, but it's a bad look for Mike Perry. Joe Rogan won't touch it, but Helwani will. I guarantee you, Helwani will have it on there. So we'll see. All right, anything else you guys want to talk about? We'll get out of here. It's Monday night, and I'm off tomorrow. So, but I still got a lot of shit to do tonight to go to sleep. So, okay, Otis tagged me in something. Oh shit, Otis. All right, yeah, all right. We'll talk about this too. So, yes, that's right. WMA today. Make sure you guys follow that. I'll leave that up for a second. So Mr. Otis tagged me on this post right here. Dana White says hard not to consider booking Volkanovski vs. Holloway 3 next. I tweeted out last week. Okay. Yeah, she's definitely sketchy. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know what to think about it. I tweeted out last week that I didn't think that Volkanovski won that fight, and that I think I just didn't agree with it, with Volkanovski saying that Hollywood didn't deserve another shot at it. I never said immediate, ever said immediate trilogy. Those words did not come. So people fucking went at me on that. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. I had to mute the tweet because people were getting like people. It's funny when people get mad at you, they don't agree what you say. They immediately start saying stupid shit like casual. By the way, I've never called anyone a casual ever because I don't care. But it's like casual. I'm like, okay, I'm a casual. Fine. Well, now what? What do we do now? It's like, okay. If you knew me, you would know I wasn't. But and then of course the the Colin Volkanovski stands, Alex stands, Volk stands, whatever, fanboys. Fair enough, dude. I don't care. That was just my opinion. I think Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski won. Okay, first of all, it's not. He's afraid to fight him again. That's bullshit. Okay, he won twice. You got to get some confidence just off of that alone. The fact that the judges are, kind of on your side with it. But, come on, man. Like, I think if you have real friends to tell you the truth, and if I'm Volkanovski's friend and I'm like a real friend, I'm like, hey, bro, you didn't win that fight. Like, and I think this is going to follow him till he has a trilogy and he really beats Max, like really beats him. And I'm not saying just like finish him, but I'm saying like beat him, like straight up, like leave no doubt. Even if it's a decision win, leave no doubt that you beat him in order to be able to say that, oh, he doesn't deserve it type of shit. So I don't know, man, but people got all mad at me and shit. I'm like, man, fuck y'all. A lot of those people were from Australia, and New Zealand. Fuck them. But yeah, I don't think you do an immediate one at all. I think you let both guys have a fight or two, and then you bring them back. If Max wins, obviously. Yeah, I don't like immediate, but they should fight again. Lots of top contenders. Max hasn't fought yet. Like I said, give him 1 or 2 fights. Let him come back, but don't hold this one. Don't hold shitty judging against them and not give him a shot ever again. So thanks for the heads up on that, Otis. All right, guys, I gotta go. Make sure you follow all the guys on Twitter. Myself, of course, we're at keepawardsmma.com. Go takes you right to the YouTube. Then we got it just as Sport1983. Kirby, that's Kirby _ MMA. I'm at Ep.40. And of course, the sponsors, repthewarriors.com, spicerpros.com. Appreciate both those sites and all that. Max vs. Cater. Do it. Fuck yeah, I'm down with that. Shout out to Steve, obviously, MMA Today. Make sure you go follow and listen. MMA Gods, my bruh. Appreciate you hanging out, dude. Adam Woods, make sure you check out According to Woods on all the platforms, I believe. Aaron, who else do we have today? Unbroken. Otis, of course. Daniel, my brother from Texas. I don't know how to say your name, bro, but this is homeboy on Periscope. Appreciate you tuning in, man. RGM will say. Oh, who else do we have in today? Everyone that tuned in, you guys are dope as hell, man. Neil's a security. Appreciate you, man. Who else did we have today? All right. Everyone that tuned in, you guys are dope as fuck. Make sure you come back on Wednesday night for Keyboard Warriors Live, and then we'll see what happens the rest of the week. Tomorrow night, again, I will be doing an Arizona sports show, talking about all Arizona stuff on Sportscaster at the same time, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern time. I will tweet out the links. If you want to make it an account on Sportscaster, great. You can comment on there. If you don't, just hit me up on Twitter, and I'll read your shit off of there, and I'll post it as well. So yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out to everybody. You guys stay safe. Seriously, stay safe. I've already lost a handful of friends to this shit. Please don't add to that list. All right. Please don't add to that list. All right. All right, guys. Good night. Good night, Wilshire.